Today's video is all about how to choose a platform if you need a new website. There are 4 major platforms that I work with. There are obviously more than 4 to choose from, but I thought I would give you a few helpful pieces of advice to help choose a platform if you know it's time for a new website, but you're not sure which platform to use. A lot of people started off on WordPress many years ago. I did. I had all of my websites were on WordPress for many years. And there were many years where it was easy to use. Those days are gone. So the pros and cons of WordPress are that it is a very flexible platform. It's also a very cost-effective platform. You pay a hosting fee. Everybody has to buy a domain. There are some platforms that if you sign up for hosting with them, then they will give you a free domain. So perhaps if you're starting a new domain, if you're buying a new domain, then don't buy it with like Namecheap or GoDaddy until you've decided which website to host with. And then you can sign up wherever you're going to build your website hosting, and then they might give you a free year domain. Doesn't happen in all cases, but in many cases you can get that because they want to incentivize you to use their platform. The pros of WordPress are that there are many options for templates and it's not that expensive. So you're not going to have to pay a really high maintenance fee. And this is because you have plugins, and plugins are things that you use on WordPress to enhance the experience. So it might be something like a fun calendar. Let's say you have events and you have a special look that you want for your clients. And so a plugin, you might download a plugin for a calendar. They have plugins for graphs and charts and buttons and payment processing and sliders like homepage banners. There are thousands of plugins you can download, and some of them are paid and some of them are free, and they all need updating. And this is the problem with WordPress. For the first 10 years of using WordPress, it was fine. Occasionally things would break, but you could fix them. Now you have a lot of things to update. So it's high maintenance. So with WordPress, you have the theme that needs updating. WordPress updates its software periodically, and then the plugins update. So you've got 3 different moving parts and they all have to work together. And then if you think about it, each plugin has to make sure that it's compatible with both the newest version of WordPress and the newest version of your theme. And they don't all always keep up to each other. And if you update one thing, but all the plugins aren't compatible with the first update, then things break. And then you can just lose your whole website. Not permanently, but it might seem permanent if you don't know how to fix it. And then you have to pay somebody to help you get it back online. And so that's the con. So you're saving money by doing more work yourself or paying a developer to do that work for you. So that's WordPress, pros and cons. Another platform, the platform that I personally switched my websites to, is Squarespace. Squarespace is a hosting platform that is low maintenance. In fact, it is no maintenance. I think the lowest you can pay is around $20 per month, and that's if you pay for the whole year in advance. I get a slight discount for my clients for the first year because I'm a Circle member. So if I create a website for anybody, then they get an additional discount on the first year of their service, which is great. For me, $20 a month, maybe up to 25 or 30. It depends on what your business is and how big of a website you need and how many services and do you need payment processing or not. But basically, that is a very small price to pay for never having to update a plugin. I don't ever have to hire anybody to update anything. If nothing's going to break, Squarespace doesn't break because they've got people behind the scenes fixing it all the time. So that's what I like about Squarespace. So the cons of Squarespace are that they can look canned. And what I mean when I say that is sometimes you can tell that it's a Squarespace site. You can custom code them if you have the middle tier, not if you have the lower tier. But for the most part, they're very clean, they're aesthetically pleasing, but there are similarities. They're harder to customize. Another one that is very popular is Wix. So Wix is a very visual platform. It is a very complex platform. It makes very nice looking websites. So I do recommend Wix for people that don't need a lot of information on their website or a lot of data, because the con to Wix is that it's heavy in code. So all of the fun stuff that you can do with it, you can do a lot of stuff with Wix. They also have a free version. So that's actually probably one of the shining points of Wix, is that if you literally don't want to spend any money, you can create a fully functioning, beautiful Wix website. The only thing about that is it has their name in the domain. So it would say wixsite.yourname.com. or something like that. You wouldn't get to have a custom domain for free, but you could have a whole free website. So Wix, all of the fun, fancy stuff takes up digital space. And what I've found in the back end of Wix with every single client, I've got clients that use Wix for an online store. I've got other clients that literally have a 3-page website. It's a property management company. And even the limited amount of photos that they have on their website, still the error message I get with my software is that the pages are too slow loading and the code is too heavy. I've got a software that tracks all of that, and there's nothing I can do. I've hired a developer to look at it. She's spent time doing it, and there's just no hope. Like, I wouldn't put a very photo heavy site on Wix for that reason, because if you're selling your work and it's visual and you need it to load quickly, you don't want to use Wix because you run the risk of it loading slowly. Because the other thing about creatives and photographers is you want to display your high resolution photos. And while you're not going to post a huge photo, you don't want to post a low res photo either. So I don't recommend Wix for photographers or creatives that need to display their work and it's important for multiple images to load quickly. The last platform that I'm going to talk about is Shopify. Now, Shopify is fantastic if you're running an online store. So they have a platform. They've basically done it all for you. It's drag and drop. There are some complexities to it as well, but if you are planning to sell stuff, I would say there's no better platform for you. It optimizes the photos automatically within reason. Like, you're not going to drop a 10 megabyte file into Shopify, but if you drop, I think, a 1 to 2 megabyte file maximum, it will optimize it for you. In good faith, I can't recommend you do that. I would always optimize photos prior to uploading them. It's just good practice. So I do that for the most part, and I tell everybody to do that, and I do that for my clients. But I do have some Shopify clients who don't do that, and I don't get error messages saying that their site loads slowly. There are some pages with heavy code sometimes, but for the amount of data that they have on those websites, I think it's been very well optimized. So Shopify, it is a great platform for online stores, and they have a lot of templates as well. And that's the other thing. So all of these platforms have templates that you can buy. A lot of them have templates that are free and themes that are free. So there's a lot of flexibility with all 4 of them. And so to recommend a specific type of platform for your specific business, it really does matter what kind of portfolio and information are you going to be showing to people online. Do you need to take payments? If you need to sell things and take payments, then any of them will work, but Shopify is the best for if you're going to have like a product-based website. Squarespace is great for if you're going to be selling digital products, having event bookings. I think it displays things really nicely. Wix is great if you have the time and energy to fiddle around with the back end and the platform, and if you're creative and you have time to manipulate things. So graphic designers, I would say, are good for Wix. For WordPress, if you have technical skills. So if you are a developer, you will find that if you meet a developer or a coder, they're gonna only want you to work with WordPress because it's so flexible and they know how to code. So for them, it's their toolbox, right? They know how to use it. If you have a developer friend and they can do all the updating of plugins for you and fix your website when it crashes, then WordPress is a fantastic platform to use. So hopefully that helps you make a decision if you're at the point where you are ready for a new website or you're upgrading your old website. It can be a lot of work to switch, but if you're on a platform that is old and no longer serves you, then it can help to take a look at some of the pros and cons of what's out there today. Let me know if you found any of this helpful. Let me know what platform you might be on. And it's always a good idea to have a conversation with a web designer, a web builder, to just discuss your personal needs so that they can help you make that decision as well. Thanks for tuning in, and I'll see you in the next video.